I'm James Sonderberg. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. I've lived here my whole life, and I'm getting ready to weigh in today at my eating disorder counseling center that I go to get weighed in. Well, I just weighed in at 512.8 pounds. That's about 3 pounds from my highest weight, which I reached about 2 weeks ago, of 516 pounds. I reached over 500 pounds last August, and that was kind of a wake-up call for me, and I started really working on myself and working on eating better and changing my habits, and I did really well for a while, and I lost down to 483. And then after Christmas things changed, and I just started putting weight back on, and here I am back at, well, even more, at 515, and then now I'm down a little bit to 512.8. And that's why I'm auditioning for The Biggest Loser, because I really need help to get this weight off, because I can't keep living the way I'm living. I work at a hospital as a nursing assistant, and they offer wellness for their employees, and one of the wellness benefits was we had an employee fitness center, and I joined, and I went for a little bit and just stopped going. So I just didn't have the motivation to keep going, so I need to go somewhere where I'll be motivated or even made to do things, to exercise and stay active. And I feel like once I get the weight off, I feel like I will want to keep it off. I'm hoping. It still scares me to think about losing weight and putting it back on because of what I've done in the past, because of my history. But I've never felt healthy or thin, and I don't know what that feels like. So I really want to know what that feels like, and I feel like if I get that feeling and I feel good for once, I feel normal, I won't want to go back to the way I am. I've been overweight my whole life, pretty much since I can remember, since I was 5. I've been a big child. I was a big child, and I was always bigger than everybody else. And once I got into middle school, I started trying diets, and I did Weight Watchers, and I lost like 20 pounds, gained it all back and more. Then I did South Beach. Lost about 30 pounds, gained it back and more. Did South Beach about 2 more times, and each time I lost about 30 to 40 pounds, gained it back and more. And I did Weight Watchers another time. I've counted calories. I'm seeing a therapist at an eating disorder center that I've been seeing for 3 years now. And this is where I'm at. I'm still keep getting bigger and bigger. One of the parts of my therapy is that I periodically have to keep food records, and here's a sample of 2 days worth of food records for me. For breakfast in the morning, I had 2 breakfast burritos and a large sweet tea and a hash brown from McDonald's. At 10 a.m., I had 2 bowls of Fruit Loops and milk and a small bowl of Frosted Flakes. At noon, I had tomato sauce and pasta and waffle fries and ketchup and a large sweet tea. At 6:30, I had a big blueberry muffin and a sweet tea. 8:30 p.m., half of an everything pizza from Walmart and a mango Kool-Aid. Friday morning, The next day I had 2 breakfast burritos and a hash browns and a large sweet tea from McDonald's again. At noon I had chicken parmesan over pasta with marinara sauce and some mashed potatoes and a corn muffin and a large sweet tea. At 4 p.m. for a snack I had 4 Nutter Butter cookies. At 8:30 p.m. I had bran flakes with ketchup and sour cream and cheese and sugar. And at 10 p.m. I had a hamburger and fries with tomato soup and bread. The nutritionist at the counseling center processed my food records, and for the one day I had estimated to have eaten around 6,000 calories, 190 grams of fat, 9,930 milligrams of sodium, 515 grams of carbs. Part of my food addiction is I'm heavily addicted to sugar. Always have been. When I was a kid, I used to take ice cubes and dip them in the sugar bowl and just lick the sugar right off because I just love the taste of pure sugar. And over the past few years, I started a real bad habit of adding sugar just to everything I ate. Just anything I made, I just add a couple tablespoons of sugar to my bowl of food just to give it a little bit of sweetness. I want everything I ate to taste sweet, and I quickly got addicted to that taste and am a sugar addict. I just love and crave sugar, and that's always my downfall, is sugar. And that's something I just constantly struggle with. That was my first thing that I got rid of when I was doing the 12 steps with sugar. And I did better without it in my life, but once I get it back in, I just go out of control. And that's, sugar is, anything sweet, any kind of dessert is definitely a trigger food for me. It just sets me off to have, I can't just have one cookie. I'm going to have a whole box of cookies, or I'm going to have a cookie and 4 or 5 pieces of cake with it. So that's something about that sweetness triggers me in my binge eating. My weight really started to increase drastically in the past, probably back in the fall of 2010, that summer, fall 2010. I got into the nursing program. I had done my 2 years of basic studies and had gotten to a 4-year nursing program and was very excited but nervous. And I started nursing school, and it was very stressful. And to cope with that stress, I ate, and especially sweets on the weekends. I would always go and just binge on some sweets, and my weight just kept going up and up. Even though I was moving in clinicals and moving at work, it just wasn't helping. I wasn't exercising, but I was moving, I was still mobile. It just wasn't, wasn't really active aside from working and being in clinicals. I was supposed to graduate from nursing school in the spring of 2012. That did not happen. I had to repeat a course, and after that I took a semester break and came back and had some trouble with the nursing school and ended up leaving the program. And that was very hard and very stressful because I had kind of thrown all my eggs into one basket. That's what I was counting on, was graduating and being an RN. I get out of breath very easily, at work, and people notice that, and that's one of the things that I get, I'm talked to the most about, even by patients. A lot of my patients will say, why are you so out of breath? And it's just, I'm like, that's just how I am. That's just me every day. I'm out of breath from just walking from room to room and getting a patient's vital signs. I'm just out of breath. Everything puts me out of breath. And that's hard. It's hard for me to order my uniforms. I have to special order them, have them made for me because of the size I wear. And they're very expensive, and so I can't afford many of them. And so the ones I wear are a little bit ratty, and I've had comments made to me from coworkers about, you should get some new uniforms. So I'm like, well, I can't really. It's not like I can just go out and buy new uniforms like they can. I have to place an order, and then it takes a couple months for them to make them and then send them to me. And like I said, they're very expensive. And I take care of people who are overweight and obese, and people who have very bad health problems. And I have many people who tell me on a daily basis, don't get like me. You don't want to end up where I'm at. People with diabetes that's out of control, and patients that have had heart attacks at very young ages. And, I know I'm a ticking time bomb for all that. And, it's just luck that I've stayed how I've stayed so far. I've stayed healthy, but, it's to a point I've stayed healthy. But that's catching up with me as the weight keeps climbing up. I met my biological mother about 7 years ago. I kept in contact with her for a little bit, and probably about 2.5 years ago, we have cut off all contact with each other. And that's been a really hard thing in my life to have to go through. Well, I just got off work, working a 12-hour night shift. I'm pretty beat. One of the other challenges for me is getting in and out of this car, which you can see this panel here. It's kind of broke up. That's for me leaning on it because I'm a little bit pretty big, and it's hard for me, like I said, to get in and out of here. And it's a big car, but I still don't have quite enough space. Let's see if I can get out this morning in the car. Alright, like I said, I just got off work, so I'm getting in my apartment now. It's kind of a mess. When I work, I just very tired, and I kind of come home and I plop down on the couch, watch TV, and then I go to bed. So that's about the extent of it right now. My bedroom. I broke my box spring probably a couple years ago. Other box spring is starting to get worn down. Mattress is pretty beat up. I only bought the set probably 2 years ago, brand new, but like I said, my weight put a lot of pressure on it, and it has not survived well. This is my CPAP mask. I can't sleep without my CPAP. Been on it now for, I think, close to 3 years now. Mostly what I've been eating lately is stuff that I can just heat up in the microwave. Doesn't take long. Heat up in my bowls. Like my lasagna rolls. Add some cheese and some ketchup to them. They're pretty good. I like to have chips and salsa and Velveeta cheese. Like I said, I add cheese just about to everything. And cheese is a main staple in my house. As you can see, I got an empty bag here too. That was from earlier last week. I bulk shop. This is my couch. This is kind of my sitting spot when I get home from work or when I'm just relaxing. I kind of broke the back of the couch in. It's been like that for a while, almost since I've had it. It just, you know, I'm really big, so when I sat down on it, it kind of broke into the wall in the back there. But now I've kind of, the spot kind of fits me well now. So when I get home from work, I'll sit like this and watch the TV, and I'm pretty comfortable. Even though it's broken, like I said, I figure why buy new stuff if I'm just going to break it. Well, this morning, earlier this morning, I had some lasagna rolls with some cheese. My bowl, these are my size bowls that I eat out of. I bought these because they're just the perfect size for me. They're like the portion size I like. And sit here, and this is where I pretty much eat all my meals, sitting here, sitting up, watching my shows, just taking it easy before or after work. One of the other disadvantages to my size is that I get hot very easily. I'm very well insulated, so I sweat very, very easily. And because of that, I keep my apartment very, very cold. I have blackout curtains, and I keep my thermostat set at 62 degrees. Keeps my electric bill pretty high, but I gotta be comfortable. I don't want to be sweating in my apartment. But otherwise, I would be sweating. Still, sometimes I get real hot and I have to go take a cold shower. I sweat very easily, get overheated very quickly. I know y'all ask about hobbies. Currently, because of my work and my condition, I'm very tired when I'm off, and I sleep and I watch TV. My mom recently purchased me some art equipment. She wanted me to start painting again. I used to paint in high school. Kind of brought me a lot of joy. So I got some paints and some canvases. And somewhere around here I have an easel that she bought me. And I would like to start painting again, but like I said, my energy is very low right now, and as you can see, I'm getting out of breath just walking around here. So I don't really have the energy or the time to do it right now. I'm having a lot of trouble moving around and having trouble breathing. I get out of breath so easy, and it's really taken a toll on my life, and I don't have good quality of life right now, and I'd like to change that. So that's why I'm here, and I'm hoping that you see this tape and you consider me for The Biggest Loser.